Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be going over my Sephora purchases from 2017. I've done 2019 and 2018 so far, and I think 2017 is when I ordered the most because this list looks long. Got my laptop in front of me. I'm going to be pulling up all the orders that Sephora still has logged. I know there are some errors with some of their orders. Not everything is tracked, but I'm only going to go off their website. So let's start this off. January 11th was my first order in 2017. And I got the birthday gift, which at the time was the Tarte lip and cheek set. Hated the lipstick. It's one of those like, it was like the precursor to their matte liquid lipstick, but it was like the creamy version, so it never dried down. I feel like it slid all over the place, but I loved that blush. It's called like Party with a lot of A's in the middle. Really good color. Okay, also in that order, I got the Urban Decay Afterdark eyeshadow palette. I'm pretty sure I got this as soon as it launched, and I was really excited to try this out because the colors looked really pretty, and it was in the same format as the electric palette. So I did like this eyeshadow palette. I still own it. I don't reach for it that much, but the colors in here are really nice. And it has one of my favorite Urban Decay eyeshadows in here. It's called Fringe. It's a gorgeous teal color. It is so freaking beautiful. So I did really like that eyeshadow palette. A month later, on February 11th, was my next order. And in that one, I got the Kat Von D Pastel Goth eyeshadow palette. I tried to make that thing work. It looked so pretty. The packaging, the shades, and I couldn't get it to work right on me. I found like the colors were too pale, but also not, like, I don't know. Looking at it, they don't look that pale, but I just found like when they translated it on my eyes, it just never really looked quite right. So I was really disappointed in that palette. I kept it for quite a long time because I was like, no, you like the colors, try to make it work. And then every time I used it, I was just left so deflated with the look that I think I eventually ended up decluttering it. And it looks like that was the only thing that I ordered in that order, which is sad because that one really didn't work out for me. Okay, April 19th, 2017 was my next order. And in that, I got the Too Faced Natural Love Ultimate Neutral Eyeshadow Palette. The thing is big. It's like a massive palette. There's a ton of shadows in there. And this was definitely at like the height of my Too Faced obsession. I was buying every eyeshadow palette that they were putting out, and really I should not have bought this one because it is way too neutral for me. I have all of those colors in other palettes, but I was just so obsessed with Too Faced at the time that I wanted to own everything that they put out in terms of eyeshadow palettes. Still have it, haven't decluttered it yet. I can't bring myself to get rid of it just yet because it was expensive. This is saying I spent 69 Canadian on it. Ugh. Also in that order, I got the Sephora Collection sleeping masks. I got one in Lotus, one in Honey, and one in Rose. These are no longer available, and it breaks my heart because they are such good moisturizers. So a sleeping mask, you basically put it on overnight, and I had initially thought it was gonna leave me with like a goopy face, but it's really just a super intensive moisturizer, and I love these so much. They've repaired my skin through so many issues, especially when I'm traveling, because I get quite dehydrated. And they don't make them anymore, so I can't get my hands on them anymore. They don't seem to have a replacement item for it, and I'm sad because this worked miracles on my skin. Also in this order, I got the Stila Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Rose Gold Retro. I think I was just starting to get into the Stila Glitter and Glows at this point, and I think this color did eventually dry up on me, which is unfortunate because they're so expensive. But if you do add a little bit of Fix Plus to them, they will re-liquefy, which is fantastic. So I did really like Rose Gold Retro. It was a gorgeous shade, but I think that was the first one that dried up on me, so I don't think I have that one anymore because I didn't know the MAC Fix Plus trick at the time. Also in this order is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. I got the shade Halo, which is basically an iridescent blue-purple highlighter. It's a gorgeous color, but I don't wear liquid highlighters really that much, and I've maybe only used this like at a push 5 times, which is so disappointing because it's so expensive. It's over 50 bucks. And while the product is gorgeous, I never reach for liquid highlighters, so that was kind of a waste, to be honest. Okay, 5 days later, I placed another order. So this was April 24th, and I got the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself Eye and Cheek Palette. I love that eyeshadow palette. I still have it in my collection. I think it's beautiful. It's like a soft shimmery rainbow, which is fairly unique for Tarte. All of the shades in there except for one is shimmery, so there's one matte color. So it's kind of a palette you use with other eyeshadows that you have in your collection, but man, they're so beautiful. All of those colors, the shimmery ones on the lid, are gorgeous. I love that palette so freaking much. But it was limited edition, so now it's long gone. Also in this order, I got the Sephora Collection Supreme Cleansing Oil. This is my go-to cleansing oil now. It's inexpensive. It's like 19 bucks, and it does a really good job of taking foundation off of my face. I do use a different eye makeup remover, but this is great for just getting all of the junk, foundation, bronzer, highlighter, off of my face. Okay, June 3rd was my next order, and I got a bunch of Tarte lip products to fill in some blanks. So Tarte has sent me some PR over the years, and they sent me the entire collection of their Quick Dry Matte Lip Paint and their Sea Color Splash lipsticks, except for 2 shades. I was missing the shade Bounce in the Quick Dry Matte Lip Paint, and I was missing Beach Babe in the Color Splash lipstick. So I ordered those shades so that I could film a video and have all of the colors swatched out on my face, because I don't like filming a full range collection of colors and then missing a few shades. Funnily enough, Bounce ended up being my favorite color from that range, and it was the only one that I purchased. I also got the Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Diamond Dust, which is such a good color. I ended up getting that in this order because I had seen it on my friend Julie, and I couldn't believe how pretty it looked. So it has a silver base, but the reflect of the colors is like every color of the rainbow. So I love that one. I still have it. It did dry out a little bit, but I just re-liquefy it now with MAC Fix Plus. June 20th was my next order, and this was for the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. Yeah, it's a naked palette. It's a very one-note palette. I think the colors are nice, but I've spent so much time with that palette doing different looks, and they all come out looking exactly the same. It's so disappointing to use different colors from a palette and still get the same look over and over again. So, I mean, the palette itself is fine if you like warm tone neutrals, but I just didn't feel like it had enough variety in it. I still own it though, like it's still in my collection. Okay, the next order was on August 1st, and oh man. Okay, August 1st, I ordered the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture eyeshadow palette. I tried it out pretty much either the day I got it or the next day. Hated it. Truly, truly hated it. And returned it the day after that. The girl at Sephora, when I took it back, was like, I've never even heard of this palette. We don't have it in stock yet. And I know that people who work at Sephora are not necessarily always as makeup obsessed as we tend to be, but I was just kind of laughing because she'd never heard of it. And I'm like, here, take it back. It's garbage. I don't want anything to do with it. And I was really disappointed by that. I know some people have made this palette work for them, but I couldn't do it. So that's my skill level, I guess, but I could not play with this palette at all without getting fallout everywhere, and the colors were muddy. It was just an absolute disaster, and I was so disappointed too because I loved Modern Renaissance, and those shadows were not only gorgeous colors, but they just performed so well that I wanted that from Subculture as well, especially since the colors were so unique in there. But yeah, that was a hard no for me. Okay, August 22nd was my next order. And this was, oh, this is so bizarre that I'm talking about this. So I ordered 3 of the Ciate London glitter flips, which is weird because I'm actually wearing one right now. It wasn't in this order, but I just recently got this one as well. So in this order, I got Fortune, which is a deep purple type color. I have Siren, which is more of a teal turquoise color, and then Iconic, which I think is the black one. The Ciate glitter flips are probably some of the most unique lipstick things I have ever encountered in the makeup world. It's a matte liquid lipstick that you put on as you would any other liquid lipstick, but you wait until it completely dries and then you press your lips together and then glitter appears. It is so freaking cool. They're such fun to wear. I mean, these colors are kind of bizarre and they're not necessarily ones that I would wear all the time, but the one I'm wearing right now I think is called either Famous or Infamous. And it's more of a mauvey neutral tone that more people would get use out of. So I don't tend to use the purple or the teal or the black that often, but I just think it's such a unique, fun product that when I saw them launch and people started to like talk about them, I was like, absolutely, I need to get my hands on them. And the only colors that were available at the time that I finally bought them were like the purple, the black, and the teal. So I really love those. I still have them in my collection. Okay, so August 30th was the next order, and I got, oh, the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes eyeshadow palette from the Peaches and Cream collection. I love that thing so much. That is such a wonderful eyeshadow palette. They are all matte, I think, except for one color in there, but it basically performs like a matte. That is such a fun palette. I had initially thought that the colors were going to be a little bit too similar to each other, but in practice, they are not, and they're also really, like, some of them are surprisingly bright actually in that palette. I remember putting a few on the lid and being like, whoa, like you're almost neon, but there are also like more subtler shades in there and then deeper shades. It's a wonderful palette. One of my favorites in my collection. Man, I placed a ton of orders in August. There's 4 of them. The last one was August 31st. And I picked up the, more of the Peaches and Cream collection. Okay, now I'm remembering this. They launched this collection in a really bizarre manner. I feel like the palette came out first, and then the bronzer did, and then some of the highlighters did. Like, it was really piecemeal, which was really irritating. So in this order, I got the Sweetie Pie Radiant Matte Bronzer. Love that thing to pieces still. I use it consistently to this day. Haven't hit pan yet, which is surprising. There is quite a dip in it, but so pan should be imminent, but it hasn't occurred yet. I also got 2 of the Peach My Cheeks Melting Powder blushes. I got So Peachy and then Peach Berry. I ended up returning So Peachy because it actually fell out of the pan, and I was like, stupid. So I returned that one, but I did keep the Peach Berry one, which is a deep raspberry type color, and I love that shade. It's so pretty. I also got the Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation in Porcelain and Snow. I did find that Porcelain was way too deep for me, so I only end up keeping Snow and returned Porcelain. And it's funny, I do really like the formula of it, but I don't know. I like it, but sometimes it doesn't look quite right, and it might just be the color on me. I can only really wear Snow like in the dead of winter, but Porcelain was way too deep for me even in the summer. It was really kind of bizarre. So I like it and it feels comfortable, but there are times where I think it looks a little bit strange, and maybe it's something I'm applying on that day, but I can't quite pinpoint what makes it look strange sometimes. But I do really like the foundation, and it's massive too. There's like 1.7 ounces in it, which is a lot of product for a foundation. Okay, then on September 20th, I ordered the Kat Von D Everlasting Mini Liquid Lipstick Set. And this was the one that had a whole bunch of like neutral brown, maroon, red tones. The launch from the previous year had a lot of like bright, vibrant mauve colors in it as well. And when they relaunched a new set the next year and none of the shades were duplicated for the holidays, I was like, yes, absolutely, I want to pick them up. And I do really like them. I have to say, I really like the mini version because I will never need a full-size liquid lipstick in my life. And this was, of course, before the anti-vax stuff, so I was super into Kat Von D and I really liked her products. And I do still use these liquid lipsticks all the time. I do feel like this set works very well for the fall and winter months just because they are quite a bit deeper. And I think this one actually had a black in it too, which is a lot of fun. I think it's my only true black liquid lipsticks. Okay, so my next order was October 7th, and I picked up the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette again because I wanted to give it away for my blog's anniversary, which is also in October. And that was pretty much, I think, my favorite palette of the year that year. In this order, I also got the Too Faced Melted Matte Gingerbread Man Liquefied Longwear Lipstick because I had really liked the previous holiday one, which was the, man, what was it called? Melted Candy Cane. Love that shade, love the smell on it, and I love that Too Faced was continuing to release these like scented holiday melted mattes. I don't love the formula of the melted mattes, to be honest. I find them to be they're dry. I mean, it's liquid lipstick, but I do really like the colors and I like the scents, so I just kind of deal with it. Okay, October 17th, I ordered the ABH Prism eyeshadow palette, which was part of their holiday launch that year. I had been a little bit nervous to order this palette because Subculture had been so terrible. I think I waited for a few reviews to come out before I picked up that eyeshadow palette because I wanted to see if the quality was similar to Modern Renaissance or if it was the same as Subculture. In the end, I thought the quality of it was fine, but the shadows in it were like weird colors. And I never truly fell in love with that palette, even though I think I tried putting it in like palettes I want to get some more use out of video. I ended up getting rid of it, and I'm sure it's happier in somebody else's home. I just didn't get a lot of use out of that one. Okay, so November 21st, I ordered the Too Faced White Chocolate Bar eyeshadow palette. I know a lot of people did not like that eyeshadow palette. They thought it was too pale, it didn't have enough variety. And yeah, it is pretty pale, and there is some lack of depth in there for sure. And there are two truly garbage eyeshadows in it. The like mid-tone brown one is just, I think it's called Sea Salt, maybe? It's bad. Like, it doesn't blend, it's really bad. But the rest of the eyeshadows in this palette are a lot of fun to wear, and they do really work on my skin tone. I am fair. And I've found that they were really handy for lid shades. So I did really like that palette. I still reach for it. I know it was pretty much hated by a lot of people, but I found it quite versatile for me, and I did really enjoy it. Okay, the next order was December 1st, and I got the Tarte Tartelette Toasted Eyeshadow Palette. I'm not really sure why I ordered it. I feel like we were still coming off the like warm tone neutral palette train, and Tarte was so late to launch theirs, but I do really like Tarte's Tartelette palettes. I think they're really good quality, and I wanted to give the Tarte one a shot. Honestly, the quality is great, the shadows are fine. I just find the palette boring, especially considering that we've had so many warm tone neutral palettes by this point. I should not have picked this palette up. Really, I never reach for it. I'm pretty sure I still have it in my collection, and it just kind of sits there. It's not bad, there's nothing truly wrong with it, but I don't reach for it, so it's kind of a waste of money. And okay, that was apparently the end of 2017. Didn't realize that was the last one. So that was 2017. That seemed like a lot of orders, more than some of the other years. But it was definitely fun to look back and see what I got back then. 2017, when I look at these products, feels like so long ago. Like, most of these things nobody is talking about anymore. So it's kind of nice to revisit them in that sense. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye.